you please welcome with a standing ovation to the greatest black man that we have on the scene today, the Most Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Please stand and receive your leader.
In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is his messenger. My dear beloved brothers and sisters, I feel so privileged this afternoon to be introduced by such strong young warriors of Allah. Brother Ave, who will in a month or so complete his doctorate degree, but is not too proud to follow a man who does not have any degrees.
Yes, sir. That's right. Yes,
sir. And to my young brother, Minister Conrad Muhammad, who introduced me to you, I first met him at the University of Pennsylvania, where he is just a hair away from his degree. As I listened to him, my mind reflected on myself when I was a young man about his age. And I was introducing the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And what a joy it was to me to have the privilege and the honor of introducing such a great man who made a difference in my life and has caused me to make a difference in the lives of tens of thousands and even millions of our people. I'm very proud of you, my dear young brothers, and you make me feel like, I guess, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad felt when he saw help coming to him. Young, strong, brilliant help, which any man or woman who has a mission to accomplish needs. No man or woman is given a mission without God's giving that man or woman help to accomplish that mission. The mission of raising the black man and woman up is bigger than man. It is bigger than woman. It is bigger than the help of our great brother Dr. Ave or our great brother Conrad. We can only do so much. But this is a problem that the white world created that only God Himself can solve. So we are not here before you of ourselves, because I don't know anybody in their right mind that would attempt to reform black people without the help and guidance and protection of Almighty God. To reform the black man, to wake him up, to clean him up, to stand him up, to unite him in the face of his enemies, is to incur the wrath of the powers that be. For the government of the United States and white people are afraid to see a united black man and woman. White people are terrified to think that anybody can reach the youth and stir the youth to positive activity. They are upset because they know that today's youth are different from yesterday's youth. Today's youth cannot be persuaded by the miseducation that is offered to black people. They cannot be persuaded by false religious doctrine, full of fervor but not understanding. So today, our open enemies are flooding the black community with drugs. Drugs that are designed to destroy the future of our people, because they know that your future and my future is a great future. The white people know the time, and because they know the time has set their agenda. I appeal to you in our radio listening audience and here at Mosque Maryam. The white people who know the time and know the hour have determined that you will not rise, that you will not come up out of the death of ignorance that they have forced upon our people. And so a great battle is going on. Yes, it's a great war. It is not physical yet. It is mental, it is psychological, it is spiritual, but the war is going on. It is a war for your minds. It is a war for your hearts. It is a war that is designed to take you down to the hell that the enemy knows he's on his way to. Let me help you to set the right agenda for yourself, that you may know the time and what must be done. In the Holy Quran, in chapter 103, it is called Al-Asr, the time. Allah says to us in the Quran, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, consider the time, for by the time surely man is in loss, except those who believe and do good and enjoin one another to truth and enjoin one another to patience. Surely man is in loss by the time. The time then is the standard. The time is the criterion that allows us to judge our actions. Whether our actions are right or wrong, proper or improper, we must have a yardstick by which we measure our own actions. We cannot measure our actions in a vacuum. We measure our actions by the time. In the Holy Quran, in the 22nd surah called the Pilgrimage, it reads, in the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, O people, keep your duty to your Lord. Stop right there. O people, keep your duty to your Lord. If the white man is your Lord, then keep your duty to him. But if Almighty God is your Lord, then keep your duty to him. Why? Why should we keep our duty to our Lord? It says, surely the shock of the hour is a grievous thing. By the time, surely the shock of the hour. Something is going to happen in the hour that is going to shock the people, traumatize the people. The shock of the hour, not the hour, but the shock produced by the time, by the hour. It is a grievous thing. The day you see it. What is it? The day you see it. You can't see hour. You can see time. But what do you mean the day you see it? Every woman giving suck will forget her suckling, and every pregnant one will lay down her burden. And thou wilt see men as drunken, yet they will not be drunken, but the chastisement of Allah will be severe. The shock of the hour is a grievous thing. The day you see it, I don't care what you're doing. I don't care what drug you're taking. The day you see this, every woman giving suck will forget her suckling. It has to be a grievous thing to make a woman who has a baby that she is nursing forget her baby. And it has to be a grievous thing when a woman is pregnant, but the shock of the hour is so great she just drops her baby. And people will be drunk, but they won't be drunk. They'll be staggering, but they won't be drunk, for it is the shock of the hour that will make them drunk. And what is it? It is the chastisement of Allah. What is the hour? What is the time? What is the day? If you look at the term hour, the Quran keeps talking about the hour. The hour. The hour. What does it mean? It's 2:30. What are you talking about? 3? 4? 5? That's an hour. Huh? What do you mean, the hour? It means the doom of the wicked at a given period of time. As an hour is 1/24th part of the day. And it lets you know that something new is coming when you reach the hour. Then those upon whom has been passed the decree of death, then in that hour they are taken. The hour cometh. Break the hour down. How many minutes in an hour? 60 minutes. How many seconds in a minute? 60 seconds. So if 60 minutes make the hour, 60 seconds make the minute, then the hour represents 6, or the doom of the wicked who are made under the number 6. All praise is due to Allah. In the 12th chapter of Revelations, we are told to count the number of the beast. For the number of the beast is the number of a man, 666. So you got 666. That's the number that the Pope wears on his mitre, 666. That is the number of the white man's world. It is the number 6. So the hour has come. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that the clock is stuck on 6. What does it mean? It means that the white man's time to rule is up. And the hour and the day has arrived when the white man will be taken out of power, when the world of the white man will come down. You must not be afraid of the truth. You must not fear for my life for speaking the truth. You must fear for your life if you don't know what time it is and what must be done. All praise is due to Allah. All praise is due to Allah. I'm afraid for your life. And that's why I must speak bold truth regardless to the consequence. The white man's world is coming down. He knows it. You know it. You see the rise of the brown man of Asia, the yellow man of Asia, the black man of Africa, the black man of the Caribbean. Everybody's rising up. Where's your rise coming from? You sleep in a dangerous time. The shock of the hour is a grievous thing. The doom of the white race has entered now into their doors. It is not to come. Death is already in their doors. The Jews up in Cornell University said it's a shame that you should invite Farrakhan during our Passover. And I said to them, no better time for me to come than in your Passover. What do you mean, Passover? Passover deals with the time that Moses told Pharaoh, if you don't let my people go, the final plague is death. The death angel will come in and take the firstborn out of every house. And the death angel will stop at every house except those houses that have the blood of a lamb with an X mark on a gatepost. Once the death angel sees that mark, it will pass over your house and strike every house that does not have that mark. So the Jews celebrate Passover because in that day they said they had the right sign and the right mark on the gatepost when the death angel came through. Well, I'm here to tell you, Jews of America, Jews of the world, white people of America, white people of the world, black man of America, black man of the world. The death angel is now inside the house, and if you don't have the right mark on your gate post, he will take the firstborn. Death will strike in every house. Surely man is in loss, except those who believe. Believe in what? And believe in whom? It is not any old lamb that you slaughter and take his blood and put it up on your gate post. It is not a four-legged animal that we are looking at. The lamb represents the Lamb of God that taketh away the sins of the world. A lamb will bleed out his blood. It does not mean that you go and daub something in the blood of a four-legged animal. It means as blood is the life fluid of every living thing. If you don't live the life that is exemplified by the Jesus, if you don't walk in his footsteps, if you don't put his life in your house, his life on your door, then death is coming in your house. I don't care whether you're black, you're white, you're Christian, you're Jew, you don't have the right mark unless you're living the right life. Surely man is in loss except those who believe and are the doers of good and enjoin one another to truth and enjoin one another to patience. The shock of the hour. There's not a home in America that doesn't bear the scar of the shock of death coming in the door of your house through excessive alcohol, through the use of drugs, cocaine, crack, overindulgence in sex. It is in your house. It is in mine. It is in every house in America. It is in the house of the judge. It is in the house of the president. It is in the house of the king. It is in the house of the poor. Death now is in the house. It came in a reefer. It came in a bottle. It came in cocaine. It came in crack. It came in the heart and the mind of a deranged son, a deranged daughter, a deranged husband, a deranged mother, a deranged father. But death now is in every house. When a father in California can kill his wife, then slit the throat of his daughter, a father that one would think the child is safe with one's own father. But it is the father killing the children today. It is the children killing the father today. Death is everywhere. Why? It is the shock of the hour. It is the time of the end of the white man's world. The whole thing is coming on down. The white man's world needs to end. It is so vicious and rotten, the white man himself is tired of his own work. But he wants to be the ruler in the change, and God says, no. Since you have not ruled my people with justice, therefore I will bring up a new ruler. I, the Lord, have decreed this. And guess who the new ruler is? Just guess who the new ruler is. Just guess whom God has chosen to be the new ruler. I mean, in your wildest imagination, you could never come up with the right answer. But who is the new ruler? Where will he come from? What will he look like? What will he say when he comes? What will he do when he comes? Who is the new ruler? All praises be to Allah. Let me describe him for you. Maybe you'll be able to recognize him when you see him. Let me fill out the features of him for you. The Bible says, I will choose a foolish people. Whoever is foolish, check yourself. I'm going to choose a foolish people, a people who are weak, to confound the things that are strong. I'm going to choose a people that are nothing to bring to naught the things that you think exist. So show me a fool people. Show me a weak people. Show me a people that have been brought to nothing. Show me a people that are despised. Show me a people that are rejected. Show me a people who are lost, irretrievable, irredeemable, irreformable, hopeless, wicked. There you'll find the new ruler. For God said, I will choose the foolish things, and I will be their God, and they will be my people. Well. If the white man knows the time, then he knows what must be done from his perspective. For the white man knows who the new ruler is. And guess who the new ruler is? What color is the new ruler? Since we got to have a man or woman to rule, and they come from the earth, they gotta have a color. So the Bible says it had hair like lamb's wool and feet like brass burned in an oven. Who is the new ruler? Daniel saw him coming. Daniel said, I beheld till the thrones were cast down. That means every ruler that sits on a throne, he's sitting temporarily. I beheld till the thrones were cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. Ancient of Days, more time. But this man is so ancient, he got days, not hours. Days and days and days. He's the Ancient of Days. Describe him, Daniel. He said he had hair like lamb's wool. Put your hand on top of your head and feel what you got. Is that lamb's wool? Talk back to me, black man and woman. It is your time. It is your day. It is your hour. Who could make the black man a ruler? Only God. Because the condition that the white world has put us in, we couldn't call a dog and make a dog obey us. The cats in the house won't sit down when we tell them sit down. The babies in the house run us. Nobody obeys us. How can God make a ruler out of this? Let me go on with the description. Daniel said his eyes were flaming red, like flaming coals. That's something. When a man's eyes are red like fire, it means he's either very angry or he's coming up under a great stressful time. The eyes are red. The black man is both. If you look in his eyes are red with the anger over the oppression that we have suffered in America and throughout the world for these last 400 years. But he's also got red eyes because he's coming up from a horrible death, spiritually and mentally and morally. The shock of the hour is a grievous thing. Look, when you lose something that's dear to you, what does it do to your mind? What is the effect of losing something valuable? What effect does loss have on your brain? Follow me now. You got a bicycle, young man. It's a beautiful bike. You just worked or sold papers or did something to get that bike. Mama sent you to the store and you parked the bike. Quickly, you know you were only going to be there for a second, but in that second you came out. Your bike is gone. What effect does that have on you? My bike. And someone who looks in your face can tell you've been hit with a blow, but nobody hit you physically. They hit you with a loss, and you're hurt because your bike is gone, your truck is gone, your car is gone, your tools that you need to do your daily work is gone. And for that moment you walk around in a daze and you forget where your keys are, or you don't know where you put that. You begin to get confused because that's a loss and it's a shock. Huh? What is shock? It is a sudden and violent blow or impact. It is a collision. It is to create strong internal stresses. It is a violent disturbance of the mind or the emotions or the sensibilities. It is a collapse of the circulatory function. They call it sometimes trauma. Trauma, the medical term. We just say shock. The Quran said, surely the shock of the hour. See, the shock is going to cause you to lose things that are valuable. Your friend, your buddy, your best man, shot down like a dog in gang warfare. No sense to it at all. He was just with you, but he had on the wrong colored jacket. He wasn't thinking that morning. He put on the colors of another gang and went into a neighborhood and somebody shot him down. And the mother is in shock. The friends are in shock. A grievous loss because you had no sign on your gatepost. You had the wrong sign. So the death angel came in and took your firstborn or your secondborn. But death is in every house. Shock. Shock. Trauma may be physical or mental. Physical trauma is bodily injury produced by violence or any thermal or chemical external agent. Mental trauma is a startling experience which has a lasting effect on mental life. Look, brother, sister, have you ever been in an earthquake? You laying down in a bed and all of a sudden the bed begins to jump, and you wake up and you don't understand what this is. Then you see the room begin to sway and the walls begin to look like liquid instead of solid. You wonder where to run and there's no place to run. house begins to collapse on you, look at what you're seeing. Shock, trauma, and after it's over, you just sit down for a minute. One moment you're alive and just a little rumble in the earth, and the next moment whole blocks are wiped out and the living get the news of the dead, and the living are in shock. You see them go down to the site where the earthquake brought in houses and tore up bridges, and trucks went off the bridge down into the ravine or into the lake or the river. And you stand there horrified. You go up on an airplane. You just say goodbye to your loved ones. I'll see you tomorrow, as though you're the master of today or tomorrow. But then you get some news. Something has happened. Come back to the airport. The plane just went down. You say, oh my God. Oh, I hope my father is alive. I hope my sister is alive. But when you get the news, all in the plane died. Shocked your mental sensibilities. It is a violent disturbance of the mind. It is a startling experience that has a lasting effect on mental life. God says he's going to do this over and over and over and over again. He's going to do it with greater rapidity because the wickedness of the people is so great. God now is angry and is going to destroy the totality of the human family. The whole human family is headed for extinction, except those who believe and do good. Let's check this out. We're in an hour of judgment. When God is executing his judgment on the wicked. That's the hour. You can expect anything at any time. Don't be surprised. You may expect death to break out at a ball game. You may expect destruction in the disco. You may expect it in great houses of amusement. But in this hour, expect death. You should expect death because death is hanging around your door. God is sick of this white man's world. It is a burden on the earth. God has the power to lighten the effect of his judgment or make them heavy. But gradually he brings on the wicked the full effect of their wickedness. The Holy Quran teaches us that those who have exceeded the limits actually say, I don't believe there is any God. I don't believe there is no God that can punish me. And if there is, throw down, God, because I'm throwing down with you. I mean, some of us are so crazy, we actually believe that we are some trouble to the God. Allah says in the Quran, for those of you who think the white man is powerful, and I mean the white man got a lot of juice. I don't want you to make any mistake about it. He's a powerful man. He's a powerful human being. He's the most powerful on the earth. Every nation fears the white man. But when you compare his power to the power of Allah, ain't nothing. Allah says in the Quran, he said, that which you call on beside me. He said, if a gnat And you know how small a gnat is. He said, if a gnat or anything smaller took a morsel of bread from the one whom you fear, that one has not the power to say to the gnat, come back and bring my morsel of bread. Is that heavy or what? Now look, man, I know Bush is a powerful man. He's the president of the United States. But he can't call a gnat. He can say to the gnat, come here, gnat. And the gnat will fly by and drop something on his nose and keep on stepping. The Quran says, weak is the invoker and weak is the invoked. Both of them are weak and not worthy of worship. You can't bow down and worship Caucasian power. Caucasian power is no power at all in comparison to the Lord of the worlds. He sent grasshoppers into a baseball stadium. Just grasshoppers. And stopped the ball game and drove the people in the stadium out. There was big, bad Negroes in the stadium and big, bad white folks in the stadium. The police were there with their 38s and their nightstick. But a grasshopper jumped in the police chest. A grasshopper jumped in his shirt. A grasshopper jumped on his ear, and he forgot about his gun. He forgot about his club. He didn't give a doggone about his badge, because he couldn't say to the grasshopper, stop in the name of the Lord. The grasshopper ran him crazy. The grasshoppers were so mean that day. The man that was selling hot dogs and burgers and beer, the grasshopper got in the hot dog, got in the burger, closed his stand down. The grasshopper jumped on the patrons, saying, hit that ball, hit that ball. But when the grasshopper got him, he forgot about the ball, went to smacking and going on till the grasshopper drove him to distraction. So he said, let's get up and get on out of here. Everybody started running for the door, but it created a jam at the door. Grasshoppers had them running. Grasshoppers had them hopping. Grasshoppers had them jumping. But when they got to the door, they began to crush each other. And some died in the crush just from a grasshopper. But the white man with his gun couldn't shoot the grasshopper. The white man with his stick couldn't beat the grasshopper. Surely they have no power when you compare their power to the power of Almighty God. And whatever they have of power, He gave it to them. But what does the Bible say, Mr. Farrakhan? You've been talking about that Holy Quran, and I don't know nothing about that book. Very good. So I'll put the Holy Quran down, and I'll pick up the Bible. I don't have my Bible with me, but I'm going to give you the Bible verse, and you go check it out. In Luke, he says, listen, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity. The sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking upon the things that are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And when these things begin to come to pass, look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth near. This is the 21st chapter of Luke, the 25th and 26th verses. Now let's check it out.
Go ahead.
There is activity in the sun and the moon and the stars that got white folks shook up. They see an uncommon, out of the ordinary movement of the planets. They see them lining up. They say, what does this mean? They see sunspot activity on the surface of the sun, and the sun belching out fire from 10 to 30,000 miles from her surface. Think about the sun, a ball of fire with sun rays of balls of fire shooting out from the surface of the sun 30,000 miles. The earth is 7,926 miles in diameter, approximately 8,000 miles. So 4 times the diameter of the sun, of the earth. The sun is shooting out flames of fire. When that happens, it disturbs the atmosphere and cuts into the communications. It brings up storms. Storms on the sun brings up its counterpart. It begins to blast with weather that burns the earth. Oh yeah, brother. There will be signs in the sun, in the moon, and in the stars. That moon out there that we have in the flag, that moon represents equality because it equalizes the waters of the earth. Yes, sir. The waters of the earth approximately cover 3/4 of the earth's surface. Yes, that's right. 139,685,000 square miles of water. If the water could seek its level, it would drown out civilization, but the moon keeps the water coming up, churning, where it doesn't drown civilization. But when there's strange activity with the moon, then the sea and the waves begin to roar. God brings up storms. Yes, sir. And the submarines can't stay down in the depths. There is no submarine that can stay under the water. When God takes winds and whips the water in a circular motion, and every time the winds make a circular motion, they whip the waves around. And what is on the bottom begins to come up to the top. And when it reaches the top, it comes up almost vertical. Then the water parts and then comes and claps its hands. And the submarine is gone. The big ship is gone. You have no power. When Allah begins to disturb the elements, the sea and the waves roaring. Look, and on earth, distress of the nations with perplexity. All all the nations are filled with distress. Let's take America, for instance. Where we live, we better start at home, then spread abroad. What is happening in America? Distress. The president can't balance the budget. The dollar steadily falling. The fabric of the society pulling apart. The homes being broken by divorce. A woman at the head of 53% of black families. Husband and wife gotta go to work to support the family. Nobody home to mind the children. Children minding themselves, growing up by television. Distress of the nations with perplexity. Perplexity means confusion. Now the sea and the waves roaring has a metaphysical or spiritual meaning. You know what can happen when the sea out there begins to roar. But what about a sea of people when they are dissatisfied? They go out to the airport with their picket signs saying, we got no justice. What about the people that say respect for life? No more abortions. And what about those who say we want the right of choice, clashing with each other? What about the gay and lesbians marching in every city? We want our rights. Give them to us now, baby. Or we'll march on you, honey. The sea and the waves roaring. White folk thinking the government is giving away our land and our property, selling it to the Japanese, to the Arabs. Many white people angry. So they're saying, let's kick all Asians and darkies and Jews out of the Northwest and make it our territory. The sea and the waves are roaring. The people are rising up. And men's hearts failing them with fear. What is the number one disease in America? Come on. Heart attack. Young man says to his wife, see you, baby. I'm going on to my bank job. I'll be back this evening round about the regular time. On the way to work, driving down the outer drive, he clutches his heart. He can't hold on to the steering wheel. He goes into the next lane, then over into the lane of the traffic coming in the opposite direction. He dies at the wheel and kills 4 more. Heart attack. What brought on your heart attack? What brought on your high blood pressure? What brought on the stroke, the trauma, the shock? It's the hour of judgment, and the stress in that hour is unbelievable. That's what got Whitey going crazy. It's stress, trying to hold up his world. He said the niggas are rising. Tell Reverend's Chicken Foot, go down into the ghetto and stop them from rising. If Chicken Foot can't do it, call Reverend Hogmaw. Tell him that he should unite with Chicken Foot and get a rabbit's foot and pray that they can keep the niggas from rising. When he got that quelled, something else breaks out. Whitey's in trouble. His heart is failing him. He's a policeman. on his way to a riot. They call him on the wire saying, riot. And they give the alarm. He's on his way to the riot, and when he gets there, he sees a crowd. His heart begins to pound. He's been overweight, eating greasy food in the greasy spoon. He has not been exercising. So he reaches for his gun, hoping that it will be a short fight, because he can't take nothing too long. So he runs into the fray. Heart attack. This is why Whitey didn't want Jesse as a vice president. A heart beat away. Whitey can't take that, because Mr. Bush may be prone for something like that. He's a nice guy. And a few terrible things happen to the nice guy. He go in the situation room and can't take the situation. Boom, a black man is president. Can you see them swearing in Jesse? I can see Jesse now in the Oval Office, in the Rose Garden. White folks with their lips turned down. Black folk rejoicing over some white man dying and a black man is president. Race riots break out all over the country. A nigger is in the White House. There's a nigger in the White House. What is our country coming to? So they said, no way. No way. We're not going to let Jesse Jackson get no vice presidency. Heart attack is serious. It's striking black and white, rich and poor. Young people today, stressed out. Look at you, brother. Young people can't handle it. Look at this. God created us. He says in the Quran that he created us to face difficulty. The Quran says all of us that come into the world, difficulty is going to accompany life. You want life, you want difficulty. Life was never meant by God to be easy. If life was easy, then it wouldn't allow you to bring out your qualities. When you are tested the severest, that's when you see who you are. So God says he created us not to turn our back on difficulty, but to face it. And to face the difficulty means to summon the power of our being, all our knowledge, and we face that difficulty, summoning our strength to go against that difficulty until we overcome it. God has already fixed us up chemically, that when there is a difficulty, if we face it with the right mentality, we produce from the brain chemistry that allows us to be aroused to that difficulty, to the activity of facing the difficulty. Have you ever seen when you get in trouble and you have to run? Do you think you run the same? You know what I mean? Even when you're running a race and you're on the track team, you may run fast, but when you're running from death, you run a lot faster. Is that right? Yes. But what is it that makes you run faster? Come on, sisters. Your baby is threatened. There's a man there, 220 pounds. Under normal circumstances, you ain't gonna mess with that man. But when that man mess with your baby, all of a sudden, from somewhere, you get strength that rouses you to the activity that must be done to protect that baby. You jump in that 220-pound man's collar, and that man feels like the universe has grabbed him. And when you begin throwing him around like he's a piece of paper, and after it's done, you beat him good and take your child, then you sit down and say, did I do that? I didn't know I could do that. Under normal activity, you may run up to a fence and struggle to get over it, but let you snatch a pocketbook and police see you, Jack, and he's coming, and you know you've been caught before, and he told you if he catch you this time, you're going away for a long time. Jack, you almost leaped that fence with a single bound. You said, good God Almighty, Superman to the rescue. But what is it that makes you able to do that? Have you ever thought about it? What gives you the power when you're frightened? What arouses you to the activity to overcome things that you think are insurmountable? What is it when a young black man in San Diego, California was accosted by 4 or 5 policemen, and they were trying to kill him, and he knew if he didn't fight, they would kill him. So that man struck at the policeman, got his gun, and killed 3 of them. When he went to trial, the evidence was so overwhelming against the police, they had to let the boy go. You understand? But what roused him to the activity that he could take on 5? Huh? That's right. Take their weapon and kill them with their own weapon. What you don't know is that when God created us, He created us with everything we need to face any difficulty and to overcome any hardship. But from this very brain, we create chemicals that have an effect on us to give us strength. Unbelievable power that a single individual looking weak, but when his mind is right, like Samson, he could take the jawbone of an ass and slay 10,000. What caused him to rise to that occasion? Is he some superhuman dude that we can read about in scripture but never meet in life? Go home, black man and woman, and look in the mirror at yourself, and you're looking at the person who can do superhuman things if you know how to use what God has given you. check this out. I better keep my watch because I don't intend to be long today. What? Is this clock right?
It's a little fast.
Give me a couple more minutes.
Go ahead.
I hope that you bear with me because I want to show you by the grace of God how wonderful you are and how wonderful the Creator has made us all. That you do not need to be afraid, but you need to be willing to face whatever the difficulty is, because within you is the power to overcome it all if you determine to face it. Listen, how many of you have studied physics in school? I didn't mean take a physics. How many study physics? Just a few. Well, look, you know that air has weight, right?
Yes, sir.
Does the air have weight?
Yes, sir.
You can't feel it. So I didn't know the air had weight. Sure. On every square inch of your body, the atmosphere is exerting 15 pounds of atmospheric pressure. That means if you look at the top of your head and you divide that into square inches, on every square inch there's 15 pounds of atmospheric pressure pushing in on you. How come you don't feel it? Isn't it marvelous that you got that kind of pressure on you and you walked in here today like you didn't have no pressure? All this weight hanging on your head and you didn't say, can I? You just came on in, didn't you? Isn't God great? He gives you pressure, but he shows you how to carry it. So God so constructed the human being that he's got pressure pushing out from the inside equal to the pressure pushing in from the outside. So in the equalization of that pressure, you feel no stress. Isn't that wonderful? Showing you that a God who can create pressure for you and yet equalize that pressure would never allow you to have stress without that which can equalize the pressure that comes from stress. But if you don't look in the right direction, surely man is in loss except those who believe. Let me get to that later. I just want to lay it. All right, now, what is this thing called stress? Everybody's stressed out. You got stress? I got stress. You got stress, sister? I got stress. Even these little babies, young children, show signs of stress. You go in your house, I'm talking to the youth now. You hear your mother and her boyfriend, or your mother and your father arguing. You go to your room, if you got a room. You try to close the door. You act like you don't, I don't want to hear it. But your mother and your father are fighting. Then your father hits your mother, knocks her down. You hear her scream. You run out of the room, she grabs the butcher knife. You say, Mommy, don't kill him. Don't kill him, Mommy. Your father smacks her some more. He leaves the house. Your mother's crying, telling you, I'm going to kill that so-and-so. When he come back tonight, I'll get him. I'll get him. And the child is looking at all of this. And the child feels what? Stress. That's not natural pressure. That is a pressure that the child does not have the knowledge to allow him to handle that. You see what I'm saying? You got circumstances coming up in your life today that you don't have the knowledge to handle. And when those circumstances come up, say you're a devoted husband, you work hard all day, you get sick on the job, you come home unexpectedly and find your best friend in the bed with your wife. Stress. You ain't got the knowledge. You don't have the knowledge of how to deal with that. So you reach for your gun. Because there ain't no knowledge that will help you deal with that. So you get your gun. I know what to do. So you kill your wife. Kill her lover. Now you've made your children orphans, because when you kill the mother, now the father is in jail, and the children gotta go from house to house, living in foster homes. But the stress that's on the young is not like the stress that's on the old, because you lived a little bit, but they are just coming to life, and the world is coming down around them, and they have no way of handling the stress. You don't have no way of handling stress, black man. You go to get a job and you got it. You get married, your wife is looking for you to bring the money home. You get busted, fired. You come home, you tell your wife, I got fired today, baby. You got 6 children. You wonder where your next meal is coming from. Social Security or welfare checks. You have to go down and stand in line and suffer the indignities of people questioning you and talking to you like, what are you doing here? You gotta suffer all that indignity just to get a doggone check. And when the check comes, it's not enough to do anything with. So you're stressed out. You're stressed. And the more you're under this stress, your physical body begins to deteriorate under that stress. See? Yes, sir. The incapacitating effect of stress creates a need, a dependence on things outside of self. Are you listening? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The body responds to stress normally by producing natural chemicals which have the same properties as morphine and heroin. The body produces this. Listen, the body, I'm going to say it again, right from the brain, when the stress is normal, the brain says, my man needs to cool out. Sister, you need to just cool out. So the brain manufactures chemicals which have the same properties as morphine and heroin. It calms you down, it sedates you naturally. But if the body's stress response is exhausted, that system that is to give you what you need, if that system is exhausted, then the person has to look outside of himself to quiet himself or to comfort himself in a time of stress. Look, black man and black woman, it is unquestionable, says the Urban League in their State of Black America, it is unquestionable that black Americans suffer an inordinate amount of stress. We can therefore speculate, they do, but I say it with truth, that black people are disproportionately represented among drug-dependent users because of unbearably high stress. It's stressful to be black in a white man's world. It's stress, man. When you got to go to school and learn something about white people and learn nothing about yourself, that's stress, man. Let me tell you. Y'all all right? It is a human need to be loved, to be wanted, to feel like you belong. But in America, if you're black, what you hear all day long is that a black man ain't nothing. A nigger ain't nothing. You ain't never gonna be nothing. So all day long you're feeding on that kind of food. And your nature calls out for you to be loved, to be wanted, but you are rejected. Nobody wants you. Mama tells you, go on out, boy. Her boyfriend is in the house. She don't want you around. You want to stick around because you don't like that man being with your mother. So you stick around trying to see what that man gonna do. And your mother comes up and says, boy, get on out. Go on out and play. Well, I want to stay home. Did you hear what I said, nigga? Get your up out of here and get on outside. Well, you now know, you ain't no fool. You know what that man is doing to mama. All the while you out in the street, your mind is stressed. You walk down the street with a sour look. The stress is so great, you can't produce chemically from the brain that which will cool you out. Along comes your friend. Hey, my man, try this. It'll cool you right out, man. You know what I mean? We got to get up and forget this world. You understand? This is the way you think. When you're stressed like that, you don't want to work. When you're stressed like that, you want to cool out. When you're stressed like that, you seek pleasure because you are in pain. And the black man and woman are in pain day in, day out. Day in, day out. The black man and woman are in pain. But where's your relief? It don't come from the mind. Because your stress response system is so overloaded by the shock of the hour and the loss of everything that your stress system is exhausted. So even when you go out, you look old before your time. Young men look old before your time. Young women look old before your time. Those of you who are our elders, you look like our great grandparents because the stress, you can't handle it. Look at Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the greatest fighters pound for pound that ever lived, dying at the age of 67 from Alzheimer's disease, which means he suffered senility at 67. What happened? Jackie Robinson, the man that opened up baseball for all black people, but he died in his 40s. Why did he die so young? The stress of being called nigger day in and day out, and he had to hit the ball and make a home run and catch the fly ball and slide into home. He had to please white folk, dazzle black folk, while they was throwing black cats on the field and tell him nigger this, nigger that. When Hank Aaron was about to break Babe Ruth's home run record, he got telephone calls. Nigger, don't you do it? Nigger, if you do it, we'll kill you, nigger. But he broke the record. He beat the white man's record. But look at the stress on him. Look at the pain on him. So we die young. Look at Charlie Parker. Look at Coltrane. Look at all our great singers of song. They die young. You see them with money, but it ain't money. The world gives them stress, and they can't find no relief nowhere. Pain everywhere. So the white man comes, bringing the white lady. The white lady called cocaine. This will ease your mind. Basketball players come up working on the sand lot as young boys, learning how to play ball, because this is the only way you can get out of the ghetto. So they work. Somebody comes along and says, nigga, not nigga, Mr. So-and-so. They'll always call you Mr. So-and-so when they want your nigga after they get you. Oh man, you know I'm saying it right. That's right, it is absolutely right. Look, man, they get you down in these colleges, you playing ball. They get you in the big time, you play for the Bulls, you play for the Celtics, not hardly. Not unless the bird gets sick. Now that the bird can't fly, rather than die, they got black folk in there now. But you go up so fast, and you can't handle fame. Fame brings stress. Money brings stress. If you never had none, you got stress from not having none. Of course, I'd rather have stress from having some than having stress from having none. Brother, when you got money, that's stress. Because everybody got a game, got a plan, got something. They come to you. Hey, I got this idea. Can I get some? And before you know it, you're so worried over what people going to try to take from you. Every black artist stressed out. Look at Muhammad Ali. Perfect example. One of the greatest fighters that ever lived. He gave us so much joy. But when you see your brother today, he's just a shell of his former self. He's stressed out. Fame, fortune, and the so-called good life. You see, stress is a major contributor to addiction. Psychoactive drugs such as alcohol and opioids are used to relieve persistent episodes of feeling of defeat. Drugs do not produce feelings of success. Drugs produce amnesia for defeated feelings. When a young man meets a girl, he falls in love with the girl, and the girl turns him down, he feels defeated. Black folk know what it's like to live with defeated feelings. So, have a drink. And so as young brothers, young sisters, we know we can't get the alcohol, so we get together like I did when I was your age. And the boys, we pool our little money, and we go to an elder and say, look man, would you get a bottle for us? And he goes in and he had a little something for yourself. Oh kid, I don't want nothing, I'll get it for you. And he laughs, I did the same thing. He go in and buy you your pint or buy you your fifth. And he comes out and he slips it to you. And the boys get together and go around the alley. You don't want your mother to see you, but she ain't gonna be home no way. So y'all break the cap on the fifth and y'all turn it up. And in a few minutes, you begin to feel like everything is all right. Stress is any stimulus, such as fear or pain, that disturbs or interferes with the normal physiological equilibrium of an organism. And this force can be applied against the body, the mind, or the spirit. And stress has affected the black man's body, his mind, and his spirit. To my dear sisters, I want you to continue to be compassionate with your husbands, with your fathers, with your brothers. Because in this society, there is an inordinate amount of stress on the black man. He is just about broken in body, in mind, and in his spirit. And so today the brothers hang out on the corners. We ain't got no place to go. We don't have anything to do. We don't have a plan for our life. So we wake up in the morning and go out and stand on the corner. My man, what's happening, man? Ain't nothing to it, baby. Hey, you got anything? Let's get high, man. This is early in the morning. Time when you should be up, working your work. Every day is another day to face the pain of the feeling and the reality of being a defeated man. And that's why the white man don't want no black man to hear Farrakhan. They don't want you and me to hook up. Because Farrakhan don't act like, walk like, talk like, think like a defeated man. I am a victorious black man that represents the victory of all of our people. Praise is due to Allah. The white man is so afraid of our black and Hispanic people that if we rise, he senses his fall. So you are given alcohol. Most of you drink. That's the way you start, with a drink. Y'all all right? And the alcohol kind of anesthetizes you against pain. I had stress. A couple of weeks ago, thinking about the National Center, the nation, the government of the United States, and the stress caused the bowels to lock. When I went to the doctor, he takes my blood pressure. It's 120/70. Very normal. But there are times when you're thinking on your problems can cause your blood pressure to rise from a normal position to a very abnormal place. The bowels locked. I didn't know what it was. I got nervous. He sent me to Michael Reese, to another black doctor who give you what is called a colonoscopy. My system is very clean. I don't know what this colonoscopy is, so the man explains it to me and I don't dig it. Cat with a long wire, brother. And he's got to put this wire in your rectum with fiber optics on the end of it so he can look at your colon. I said, man, now anybody that's gay love that kind of treatment. Somebody that's normal, brother. I said, man. I said, hey, tell me about this test here. He said, well, you see, they did this on the president. I said, well, I can understand that. Discover whether the president had any polyps, cancer. I said, well, this cat is full of that. But they say, you know, when you reach a certain age, cancer can easily be a part of your colon. I said, well, I understand. Okay, all right. He said, we got to give you a little something. It'll just calm you down. And they put a needle in my vein. Oh, sister, don't cry over this. Yeah, you know, The teaching it gets to people, and it brings out things that you don't know what it is, but I want the sister to come and hear what I got to say, because the end is better than the beginning. So you get her together and bring her right back. I'm telling you, black people's suffering is very great. And we need to try and make life easier for each other. And not as hard as we make life for one another. Just hang in there with me just a little bit longer. They stuck this needle in this vein, and then they shot into the vein Valium and another drug. I can't remember what that drug was, but it's a Demerol. Demerol and Valium. Now, I don't take nothing in my system. My wife cannot get me to take an aspirin. When you see me take something, it's because I need it. I don't like drugs. I like to be in control of myself. When I used to smoke reefer. What? Farrakhan, you did that? I know. You don't want to think that Farrakhan smoked reefer. When I was young coming up, we knew where the reefer man was. Didn't you know where the reefer man was in your community? You didn't know where the reefer was, you knew where the liquor store was. We used to use hashish, ganja, and the pills at that time were a little different from the pills of today. I didn't like that stuff because I was a musician and I like to be in control. And when I smoked my reefer, I couldn't judge distance properly, which is very dangerous when you're driving and you ain't jiving. Things that are far away look close, things that are close sometimes look far away. I mean, it messes up your brain. That's right. Yeah. Your ability to measure and balance, and your cognizance of time. See, when you're a singer, you got to keep time. You hear the beat, but when you're on drugs, you can be messed up where you don't know whether you've done a chorus and a half, whether you should go back to the bridge. You just get hung up. At least I did. I didn't like the feeling. I put my money together with my boys and we bought a little alcohol when I was young, and I got drunk off of just a couple of sips of that stuff. This stuff was pitiful alcohol. A half a pint, I never will forget it, is Lansdowne whiskey. Thing was so poor, it ain't in business no more. I got home, Mom was in the bed, but she was wide awake because she didn't go to sleep till my brother and I were in the house. Is that Eugene? Yes, Ma. But I'm making it for the room because I know I'm reeking. And I don't want her to smell my breath. So I run up in the room and I lay down in the bed, then the bed start moving. So I turned on the light and sat up on the bed, but I was tired. I wanted to sleep. I wanted to get away from this alcohol. So if I sleep, maybe I'll wake up and I'll be all right. I turned the light out, I laid back down, the bed started turning again. Next thing you knew, I was about to throw up, so I ran down the hall trying to get to the bathroom and couldn't make it. Stuff came up and the stuff was so strong it took the varnish off the floor. This is the kind of poison they sell in black communities. You get the worst of everything. Getting back to the hospital, when they put that drug in my arm, it was not a minute. I was gone. I don't know what they did. When I woke up, I felt a sharp pain in my stomach. I said, let me look at this TV and see what you... And they said I shouldn't drive myself home, so my wife was there and she drove me home. But the doctor talked to me and I can't remember what he said. Wait a minute. I looked in the mirror. I looked 15 years younger. I was so high. I've got to tell the truth. I was so high, when I got to the house with that Valium and that Demerol, I don't know how much they gave me, but I looked at all the work that was there to be done, and I looked at all the letters to be read, and I said, I'm going to bed. And look, several hours later, in the night, I woke up. The best sleep I had in a long time, brother. I got up and looked in the mirror at the man in the mirror, and the man was sharp. I said, man, if this is what Demerol and Valium do for you, no wonder everybody's high these days. Now wait a minute, I'm not a salesman for Valium or Demerol. I'm making a point. My job is a stressful job. And now today I understand more and more why the Quran says, surely the remembrance of Allah is the greatest force. Because when you got a job, like I got a job, your stress system gets exhausted. And then the weight of your work comes down on you. Sometime I will come out and I will stand up to speak and you will recognize my age. But as I get into my subject, look at me and you don't know how old I am, because another force has taken over. And I want to talk to you today about the force that every one of us have, that we don't have to take no drugs or no alcohol to beat this thing. You got it all in here if you know what to do. a narcotic having the power to produce narcosis, a state of euphoria, stupor, or coma. When you're in a coma, things are going on around you. You don't know nothing about it. You care nothing about it. When you're in a stupor or euphoria, part way between reality and the dream world.
That's right.
This is no state to be in when death has come into the house. You got to be alert at all times in the clothes of the white man's world, because in the twinkling of an eye, your life could be snuffed out. And once it is gone, you can say all the prayers you want. You can be as holy as you want. You ain't never going to bring that life back. The life you got is the only life you got. Don't you let no cracker, don't you let no preacher, don't you let no teacher tell you that if you blow this life, God is going to be jackass enough to give you another one. Nigga, let me tell you something. Is not dumber than your mother. Your mother got to buy you sneakers every 5 minutes. Finally, she get tired. Every time I buy you a pair of shoes, nigga, you scuffing them up, wearing them out. I ain't buying you no more. That's it. She get tired. What do you think about God? He gives you life. You come on the planet and you are so disrespectful of the giver of life that you waste the very life that he gave you. And then a lying damn preacher stands up and tells your mother, don't worry, you'll see Timmy again in paradise. That's a damn lie, brother. There ain't no paradise for you. When you die, we put your backside in the earth where the worms eat your backside up, and ain't a damn thing left from you to rise. And don't you never tell that damn lie no more. Don't you never tell it no more. You're never going to see your mother again. Never going to see your father, your grandfather. They are dead and they are gone, and you will never see them again. If you think your grandmother went to a better place, why are you raising so much hell? You should have sent her there. As much hell as she was catching. Why don't you want to go meet grandma? Since it's so nice on the other side. Why not let's all go, since we're under so much pain? Let's get the hell out of here. But all your mind tells you, hang in here, man. This is life. This is all you got. Hold on to it as long as you can. Even a cockroach. When you turn on the light, and you know you do sometimes, turn on the light and you see something moving. Try to kill it. See, will it move? The cockroach seems to get extra strength, extra energy, and that bad boy is gone. Because all it got is life, brother. And it's going to fight to stay here. Black man, Hispanic brother, fight to stay here. Because here has been your hell. And if you want heaven, you got to change your way of thinking and your way of acting. And you can produce heaven on earth while you live. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Not by non-living people, but by human beings who are alive. Look, narcotic, a state of euphoria, stupor, or coma, any of a class of substances that blunt the senses, morphine, heroin, cocaine, alcohol, these substances relieve pain. You remember the old Western movies? When the man was about to have an operation, they had to anesthetize him. So they gave him a bottle and they put a stick in his mouth. And they went to cutting, trying to get the bullet out. Well, look, man, if alcohol blunts your senses and you don't have too much sense as it is, did I say something wrong? What do you look like drinking? These substances cause sedation, induce sleep.
Yes, sir. That's right.
You know what sleep is? It's a state where you are not conscious of what is going on around you. You could be wide awake, but not conscious when you're drunk, when you're high. That's a terrible condition to be in the day and hour of judgment when the white man's world is coming down. You drunk, you high, you don't know what's going on around you, so you cannot prepare to save your life when the white man is dying and preparing to kill you, to rob you of your future. Cocaine, a bitter crystalline alkaloid, obtained from coca leaves. It is used as an anesthetic to deaden pain, put you to sleep. The word anesthetic is from a Greek term meaning without feeling. Without feeling. Please listen. Look, man. Look, brothers. When you're alive, you got feeling. Somebody touch you, you say, oh, that hurts. You got feeling. You're alive. When somebody shoots you with morphine and you can't feel no pain, you are without feeling. But what happens to you, brother, when you're on cocaine or alcohol and you look at your own black and Hispanic brother? He don't live in the same neighborhood. He don't belong to the same gang. He don't wear the same colors. And without feeling, with coldness, you kill your brother and you don't care nothing about it. Without feeling, you rob your mother. Without feeling, you rape the elderly, beat them. Without feeling. This is what drugs are doing to our community. It is producing a zombie-like people that are alive but dead, conscious but not conscious of what is going on around them. They have no feeling for the world that's coming down around them. They have no feeling. They have no sense of love and brotherhood. Although Hispanic people are suffering, why should one brother kill another? Although black people are suffering, why should one black brother kill another? For what? What is your reason? because you're out of your mind. You're sick. And the white man is enjoying this, because as long as he can keep you drugged and keep you killing yourself as a black man, keep you killing yourself as a Hispanic man, and then put the poor black and the poor Hispanic to killing each other, as long as we do that, the white man knows he can continue to hold on to power even though his time is up. Now, freebasing and crack smoking is even more detrimental than injection because of the speed of the drug's effect and the increased rate of dependency. The immediate gratification when you smoke that crack goes right to the brain instantly, right to the center. This is your hospital. This is your protector. It goes right to the brain and produces that euphoria, that stupor, that coma. The immediate gratification realized from cocaine, crack, encourages drug merchants to market crack, a smokable form of the drug costing $10 or less, and it is widely available in the black community and is used by all age groups. The highs created by crack are described as being so intense that a person needs a parachute drug, such as alcohol, marijuana, or Valium, to come down, thereby slowing or cushioning the rapid descent of the cocaine crash. Because when you go up that high, that fast, you come down just that fast. So to break your fall, alcohol is induced as a parachute. So most crack cocaine addicts generally are alcoholics. Speedballing is injecting a combination of both cocaine and heroin. It is a problem particularly predominant among black and Hispanic people, a habit which is partly responsible for the high number of blacks and Hispanics among diagnosed AIDS cases, where in New York City alone, a total of 55% of the cases of AIDS, speedballing is at the root of it. The user is combining the ability of heroin to relieve pain, anxiety, and stress with the stimulant effect of cocaine. They put them both together and it's an up-down. These cats are chemists, and they are experimenting on you. And they don't mind killing a few of their own to get rid of all of you, particularly my young brothers, because the future is in your hands. Now look, you say, well, I don't do none of that, man. I'm lucky. I'm clean. I'm cool. Do you smoke? Well, now wait a minute. Well, I do smoke a little. Do you know what you're putting in your mouth? Nicotine is more addictive than heroin. People have come off of heroin and yet were unable to give up cigarettes. Boy. Alcohol. Look at this alcohol. America purports to be a Christian nation. Alcohol use and abuse is accepted behavior, normal behavior in the black community. There's not even any social pressure, much less legal pressure to alleviate this problem. On every corner is a bar or liquor store. A church on this corner, bar in the center, church on the next corner, bar. Is that right? That's right. Drive down Ashland and Halstead and see just what you see. Right. Church, bar, church, bar, church, bar, dope house, church, bar, house of prostitution, dope, bar, church, bar, dope. What is this? Religion is being used just like a narcotic. You didn't think I was getting to you, huh? Religious dope addicts. Not me, I'm a Christian. I understand. Filled with the Holy Ghost. I see. You pitiful.
Yes, sir.
You poor, ragged, hungry, naked, out of doors, ain't got no husband, no man in sight. But you a church goer. Why do you need to go to church? I need God in my life. You do. We all do. But to use God as a narcotic. Come on, church, let's sing. Come on, band, strike it up. Come on, choir, shout. In a few minutes, euphoria sets in. Eyes roll back in your head. Here comes stupor. Keep going a few more. Whoa. Now you're in a coma. You don't know what's going on around you. Jesus will take care of it all. Liar. Jesus can take care of it all, but he ain't going to do your job for you. A religious junkie. I'm almost finished. I've been teaching like this every day for the last 10 days, and I'm really tired. But I can't let you go if I never see you again. You got to know what you're doing to yourself and what the white man is trying to do to us all. And you got to make a decision today. Don't put it off till tonight. You got to make it today. A decision for life. And not a decision to continue destroying yourself. In the South, when we were slaves, the slave masters gave alcohol to the slaves on weekend and holidays, because when they didn't have nothing to do, you had to keep a slave busy, you know. And if it's a holiday or a weekend, you don't want your slaves thinking about their condition, give them some alcohol. So the slave master would give alcohol to the slaves. So the slaves were taught to consume alcohol in a fashion that mimicked white consumption, and that means getting drunk, which meant becoming loud, boisterous, often hostile and deadly. Look at you today. Get a little alcohol. All of a sudden you can't talk. Soft. Yeah! I see that mother. No! That nigga think he gonna do. I got his number. I'll kill that soul. 3 o'clock in the morning, man. You don't know how ugly you sound. Savage. You got a gun in your pocket. You know you carrying one. You got a knife. Come on. You got to have protection when you live in the ghetto. Now you went to the alcohol store, got you low. You went to the hardware store, bought you a knife. Now Whitey sold it to you. You went to your friend who went to another friend who bought a gun, and now you got a gun, a knife, and your alcohol. And another one of your friends came by and said, look, let's smoke some crack. Now you not only loud, boisterous, and you get quiet and deadly. Then you go to the disco, to the party. No rules. The lady of the house says, do you know my daughter? What difference it make? It's party time, baby. I'm sorry. This is a very dignified party. You can't come in. Look, you don't tell me where I can't go. Look here. You bought the knife? Who you buy it for? You ain't cutting white folks. You ain't got no heart to cut white folks. You cut yourself. You shoot yourself. You didn't buy no gun for the white man. You don't even think like that. If the thought came in your mind to kill a white man, you'd wake up quick. Something wrong. So when you buy them weapons to kill one another. And that's all you're doing is destroying yourself and each other. Am I lying? Is it the truth? Look now. The lady turns you down, you shoot her. Then you call your boys, let's turn this mother out. Then all y'all go in and shoot up the joint. Kill innocent people and then get out and go with your boys in an alley in a dark place. That'll teach them. They ain't never gonna forget us, is they, brother? Give me a high five on that. Police round you up and bring you downtown before a white judge in a black robe. You standing there facing 20 years to life. You a teenager, but they're going to try you as an adult to make an example of you. You standing there, your mother's come down, she's crying. My baby's a good boy. I know he's a good boy. Can't find your father. No lawyer wants it. Your mother haven't got the money to pay a lawyer, so you got to have a public defender, you know, and he don't defend nobody in the public or private. So here you are. Where is the man that sold you the alcohol? He ain't not there. Where's the man that sold you the knife? He don't come into court. Where's the man that sold you the gun? He don't come into court. Where's the man that sold you the alcohol? He's not in the court. Where's the merchant of death that sold you the crack, that put you out of your mind? And now you are a death angel, killing yourself and your people. Then they put you away and call you the criminal and leave the whiskey merchant right there selling more alcohol to your friends. The hardware store selling more knives to your buddies. The man that's running guns is selling guns to you and your buddies. The man that's selling drugs, he's still there, but you are down in Statesville. You are in Cook County Jail, while the purveyors of death go free. So the same white man that sells you alcohol or gave you alcohol when you were on the plantation now sells you alcohol and floods our community with drugs. So all the stress that we suffer contributes to the excessive alcohol consumption of our people. The day-to-day suffering of subhuman status, physical abuse, including rape of our women, lynching, rural to urban migration in an effort to escape the horrors of the South, the change from trying to function in an agricultural economy as slave or nearly slave labor to industrial economy as an underpaid worker, unemployment, poor education, poor health and housing, all of this leads to the consumption of alcohol and drugs. Let me bring this to a close. This human body is a chemical factory. Of the 9 systems of our body, one of them is called the endocrine system. The endocrines are the great chemical regulators of bodily function. The substances which are secreted by the endocrines and which serve as the chemical messengers of the endocrines are called hormones, from the Greek word meaning to arouse to activity. The brain itself is the head of the endocrine system and acts as an endocrine gland, in that the brain produces the hormones, the chemicals, to give you all that you need to balance your body. God created the heavens and the earth, and all of this is in perfect balance. He created you and me, and He gives us chemistry that gives us perfect balance. But the stress depletes what the brain produces, and due to chemical imbalance we have mental breakdowns. Are you listening to me? A person perfectly normal, a good person, but they're just exhausted from stress, and all of a sudden they start going off. You see them becoming hyper, what's happening? I think they're going off. How do you stop it? They take them to the hospital. They give them a drug that produces the chemical balance, and within days they feel all right. Why couldn't we produce the chemical balance without the drug? Come on, this is the end of it now. You hung in there with me this long. Just hang a few more minutes. What the white man does when you go off, he gives you a drug, and then you become dependent on the drug. So now every week, 2 weeks, you go into the drugstore buying prescriptions. What is this for? Well, I get stressed out sometimes, and I feel myself going, you know. And when I'm about to go, I got to take this drug. So and you look perfectly normal. But when you start going off, it's a terrible thing to see somebody in your family lose their minds. And when you see it, you wonder what produces it. And all it is stress that you can't manage. And drugs induced brings the chemical balance up, and you're okay for a while, but now you're dependent on the drug. In my conclusion, we don't need the drugstore. We don't need the drug man. We need to be high, all right. What? Minister Farrakhan, did you say we need to be high? Yes. In a world like this, Jack, you need to be up.
That's right. That's right.
You don't need to be walking around in this world in a stupor. You need to be up. You need to feel up. Ready to move up. Want to get up. Go up. Stay up. Well, I don't need no crack, man. I need to crack the secret of what God has created so that I can always stay up. And when I get down, I know how to get back up. Let me show you how. I learned something when I went to that doctor. And he gave me Valium and Demerol. And in a few minutes, I look young again. Look at me now. You see, under the Spirit, you can't tell my age. I'm tired, but the tiredness seems gone. What did you take? An upper, man, an upper. You mean speed? Yeah, speed. Faster than a speeding bullet. What did you take, Farrakhan, and where can I get it? And can I get it in constant supply? How much does it cost? Baby, it's free. And you have a never-ending supply of drugs. You can go up with the speed of light, 186,000 miles per second. In fact, you can go up faster than that. You can go up at the speed of thought, which is 24 billion miles per second. Come on now, I want to talk to you. This is the end of this. And if I don't see you again, you'll take something away from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that will make you think, black woman, think, black man, think, my Hispanic brother, think. Look. To be dependent on a drug is a drag. And there ain't too much difference between drag and drug. When you want something on my cigarette, say, give me a drag off my drug. See, and the drag is that when you get on drugs, it drags you down. The Bible is talking about a great drag on. Dragon, you know there ain't no dragons. But the great dragon that's curling its tail, taking the third part of the stars of heaven down. The great drag on is drugs. Drugs dragging the people down. People that mounted up on the mount of truth, dragged down by drugs. Doctors dragged down by drugs. Lawyers dragged down by drugs. People of substance dragged down by drugs. Poor people dragged down by drugs. Children dragged down by drugs. You have become a drag. Your life is a drag. You were not created to be dependent on a drug. Shame, an old 3-inch cigarette. Where's my cigarettes? You got my cigarettes, son? Where did I put my cigarettes? And you're almost going crazy because you can't find your cigarette. What has happened to you? You're dependent on a cigarette. I need a little drink to steady my nerves. Your nerves are on edge? You mean you can't calm yourself? No, I can't calm myself. I really don't want to. Give me some alcohol. Give me some drugs. I need to steady myself. Brothers and sisters, we are created to be dependent on God. When I and you were in our mother's womb, there was nobody there but the presence of a powerful Creator. When you came forth out of your mother's womb, you were created complete, yet incomplete. Not to be dependent on drugs, but to be dependent on your mother's breast, which stored food for you. And when you couldn't wean from her breast, you had to wean away from her breast. But then you stood up on the earth and you depended on your nourishment to come from the earth. And you'll be dependent on that till the day you leave. But ultimately, as you grow, you must grow to depend on Him who created the heavens and the earth, and put nourishment in the breast of your mother, and put sustenance in the earth for us to draw from. What part does faith have in the ability of the brain to produce the chemicals to overcome the difficulties, face the stress, and endure the shock? What does faith have to do with it? The reason you messed up is because you don't have a proper connection to God. You got an emotional religion that gets you fired up, but most of you cast it away when trouble comes. You know, when I see Christians, my brothers and sisters, I watch you at funerals. I watch how funerals just stress you totally out. My Christian brothers and sisters, what's the matter with you? You knew that death had to come to everybody. How come you acting so silly now? You're going to jump all down in the casket, jump down in the grave with your foolish acting self. I love my mother. I love my mother. Oh, shut up. If you loved her, you would have done good by her when she was here, so you wouldn't have to be so hypocritical in your actions after she's gone. That's a silly way to act when you know that every living thing has to die. Yes, we sorrow. Yes, we grieve. But we don't act like we're angry with God. He gives and He takes away. you thank him for the life that he gave you, the time that he gave you. But you know when it really hurts? When you destroy yourself. You don't die a normal, natural death. You die as a result of your own stupidity. Faith in God is what will see you through. Now watch this. You see, Brother Farrakhan is under great stress. I have a mission, I have an objective that came from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to raise the black man up, not only in America, but all over the world. All oppressed people, that's our mission. I can't raise you up unless I get the truth to you. The truth will lift you up and set you free. Truth is power. And it's my own people that fight me harder than my enemy. That produces stress. The Jews have been the subtle enemy of our rise. They are the masters of education that messes up your head. They are the head of the American Medical Association, where they use black people and drugs as guinea pigs and they test their stuff out on you. They are the head of the Dental Association. They are the head of the psychologists. They are the head of the movie industry. They are the head of the record industry. They are the head of those things that feed your mind. Now the Jew sees that we are awakening our people. He's hot with me. I saw a document that the Jews have given to the Defense Department of the United States government, and it is spread about me through the Defense Department all over the world. The Jews giving information about me to the Defense Department. Stress. The Jew trying to cut us off from being successful. Stress. The president don't like Farrakhan, loves the Jews. The Jews have a stranglehold on the government. Stress. They got a 100-man task force watching Farrakhan, trying to trap me, to bring me into court, to send me to prison. Stress. As I'm talking to you right now, they're planning my death. Stress. When a man got that kind of stress on him, you should be able to take his blood pressure and it'd be through the ceiling. Not mine. And since you're not carrying the level of stress that I'm carrying, I think I'm best qualified to show you how to handle what you got. The white man looks at me, he wonders, what keeps that nigga going? We talk about him like a dog, he knows we're investigating everything about him. And I'm laughing. I'm not crazy, because see, a crazy man will laugh too. Beloved, I'm telling you that this same magnificent brain, when you need rest, can produce that which is equivalent to morphine to calm you, sedate you, and give you pleasure. Let me tell you how you do it. Sister, you married, your husband is out working. When he comes home, he's stressed.
That's right.
Wouldn't it be lovely if when he came home and put the key in the door, he could smell what was in the pot? His senses pick up. Oh, she sure got one burning. Then she comes out of the back when she hears the key turn in the latch. And she's pretty, sharp, excites your senses, your eyes. Now the smell got you of the food. Now you look at your wife, she's looking real fine. She got you now. She put on a little cologne, you know what I mean? And then you look at your house is clean. Your little children ain't running out to greet you with snot running down their nose and a diaper full of crap. They look clean and nice. When you come on in, boy, your senses are excited. You have to react to that. You say, hey, baby, how you doing? And right away, the sensitivity that you have sends a signal to the brain. And the brain begins producing the hormone that calms you right on down. Sedates you. Settles you in. Lord, boy, a man want to go home when he got something to go home to. Huh? So, brothers, sisters, if you don't have all of those nice circumstances to come home to, you have to be able to produce what you need by the thought that you think. And that's why Jesus said, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So now when you come right down to it, if you have faith in God, faith in the Word, then think the right thought. Within 8 minutes, you change the reality of what you're under. Some of you, when you came in, you had a dull look. Eight minutes, 16 minutes later, I seen a light come right in your face.
Yes, sir.
You know why? When you put truth in the ear, there's electricity that's produced when the truth strikes the water in the cells of the brain, goes in the ear, up in the brain. A new thought. You can rejuvenate the whole body by changing the way you think and the way you eat. Do you hear me? Now, Whitey got all this pressure on me. I mean, I am not going to tell you no lie now. I feel it sometimes. But you know what? When I remember Allah, and that's my problem. I think on Him all day, but to miss your prayers is to miss that which keeps you away from the effect of stress. See, prayer actually makes you communicate with the God properly whom we should be dependent on. So in our prayer, Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. There it is. You're not drug dependent, you Allah dependent. And when you depend on Allah and have faith that Allah will answer, anytime you want to go up, get on up. Anytime you want to cool out, you cool right on out. Because the brain will manufacture whatever you need according to the thought that you think. Do you hear me? I don't go to bed with no tranquilizers or sleeping pill. When I lay down, I rest. When I get up early in the morning, I don't wait for the sun. I'm up before the sun. And I'm up. What gets you up? Man, it's that thought of doing another day's work to wake up some more black people. To make black people think higher on a better level. Now look, brothers and sisters, if you're sick, you can heal yourself with the right thoughts in your mind. If you're down, you can get up if you change the way you think. And there's nothing that can change the way you think but communion with the God. So when I feel burdened, I got to talk to Allah. When I feel down, I got to talk to the God. Because even though you are around me as my brothers, if Allah is not with me, I'm through. Although I love my brothers and would love to have my brothers around me, I need Allah with me every hour of every minute of every second of every millisecond of every day. And that's why I know that no matter what they plan in Washington, they can't win. So I don't fret myself about what the government is planning. I say to the government, whatever you're planning, bring it on. Bring it on. Because I want to prove to my little brothers that there is a God. That the white man is not God. He never was, and he's incapable of becoming God. Not as he is. I'm talking about a God of righteousness. You don't need a drug. You need to be dependent on the God. And I'll tell you, brothers and sisters, when you try him out, you'll never lose. And I'm saying this to all of you, if I never see you again, remember the name Allah. Remember the name Allah. Allah is the true name of the God. It composes all of his attributes. Yes, he's love. Yes, he's mercy. Yes, he's beneficent. Yes, he's powerful. Yes, he's omniscient, all-knowing. He's Shiloh. He's all those good names. But when you want to say all of them in one, and we need all of them rolled up into one, you say Allah. And when you say Allahu Akbar, that means God is great. So we put it here in 4 directions. In Arabic, Allah is great. Not Farrakhan, Allah. Farrakhan got to depend on a power bigger than himself. Farrakhan can't depend on his brother. Farrakhan got to depend on Allah. Allahu Akbar. God is great. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. I bear witness there is no God but Allah. I can't bow down to no cigarette. It's too small for me. I can't bow down to no drug. It's too weak for me. I can't bow down to sex. It was made for me to be its master, not it my master. I can't bow down to my wife or my women, girls in my house, or any man. I can't bow down to you. I can't bow to the president. I can't bow to the Jews. I can't even bow to sleep, because prayer is better than sleep. And even though sleep is a drug, when you get up out of sleep, if you pray, prayer will give you another chemistry that will wake you up out of sleep. This is the power. The brain connected to God, that's all you need. And you can walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil, for thou art with me. See, I know that. I don't guess no more that God is with me. If I doubted that God was with me, I would punk out in front of the white man. But I can't wait to take the government on. Why is it? I want to show you, my little brother and sister, how a little skinny man can bring a government down if God is with you. That God is not a punk. He wants you to try him so he can prove that he's God. He can't use no scared to death Negro. You got to be bold in order for God to use you. You got to step out when you think you shouldn't step out. Step out. Because he's real.
Yes.
So each of you, get up. Black woman, get up. If there's no man to make you happy, think the right thoughts and produce the chemistry and make yourself self-contained happiness. Do you hear me? I used to watch my mother. My mother was a sad woman. No man in her life. But every day I would look at her talk to herself. Say, what's wrong with Mom? But Mom was talking to God and to people that offended her. She was working it out. Anybody looking at her says she's a nut. But she was producing the chemistry that would allow her to go on with no man and two boys to raise in a hostile environment. She has never said, I can't do. And she never taught me what I can't do. So the scripture says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengtheneth me. Do you know what you're saying? I challenge all preachers to come on and prove Christ. Prove him. Get up up out of your condition and challenge the world and turn it upside down and turn it around, because this world has destroyed us and our children and our grandchildren, and now this world must be destroyed. God has come to wipe it out, and I am with God to destroy this thing and bring in something better. For listening. Assalamu alaikum. Whenever you need Allah, call on Him. And if you go to war in His name and say Allahu Akbar and fight like hell with whatever's in front of you, and I'll give my life. You move whatever is in your way. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. God is great. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.